and welcome again to another IADC update. As promised, we're back in the field and we are trying to keep you as updated as possible. We are standing on the top of what remains a foothill and we are looking down on the ever-expanding cavity that has been created as we clear the way for an obstacle-free runway. Mind you might still have some obstacles, but as far as the mountains are concerned, the planes will be able to come in, land here on the southern side, and taxi their way down towards the runway. So if you take a look behind me, you will see the very wide gulf that has been created between the two mountains, Fort Hill and Makani Hill, as we seek to remove as much of it as possible so that the planes are able to come in and land here without much obstacle in their way. We are going to be taking you throughout the site this evening, and we are going to be showing you from the first, second and third kilometers how much more progress we have made. Of course, within the first kilometer, we're not just here on the mountain side where we're clearing the rocks. We also have the culverts, which are now complete, and we have the Johnson Hill, which we continue to bring down, among other things which we have here. Then we're going to move over into the second kilometer where the terminal building continues to be constructed. Work is ongoing there, and we have another drainage system in that area. And you will not believe it, we are working within the third kilometer as well. So show you all the updates as we go along. So don't move, journey with us as we show you what is going on here at the Argyle International Airport site. A few weeks ago, we reported to you that the culverts here in the first kilometer were nearing completion, and we showed you the workmen feverishly trying to finish up what they were doing. Today, we are happy to report to you that the box culverts here in the first kilometer are completed and are now in operation. Previously, when you looked behind me, you would have seen those giant box culverts. Today, you can only see the top of them. That's because we have completed the construction, we've done the backfill, and we are now covering the top, and it's been compacted. When we come back to you next time, I'm pretty sure you will not be seeing any of this concrete. From here on, we have both sides of this first kilometer to link, and we will be doing so in due course. Also, you will be able to see the culverts in operation as we now have water flowing through them. All that while workmen continue here to work on the completion of this Argyle International Airport. Come with me and let us show you the culverts in operation and show you exactly where the water is heading down to the Warwick Sea. A few weeks ago, it was virtually impossible for me to sit here, but as you can see, we have come so far that I can now assume a comfortable position here at what I would call the intake area for the box culverts. Behind me, we have an area where the water is actually flowing in, and there are three areas because there are three drains along here from which the water would flow into this box culvert. The water is currently flowing quite nicely. From time to time, we have workers who will go in and clean this out and ensure that the water has a clear passage to flow continuously. Also, there is still a little bit of work to be done here. As we see the steel here, we know some more work is to be done, and there should be some covering on at least a part of this intake here. So we await the completion of this area, but in the meantime, it's operating, it's flowing smoothly, and the water is being channeled off the site and down to the Warwick Sea. That is what it was intended to do, and there you have it, the box culverts fulfilling the desired intentions. So we're going to move from here and take you across to the 2nd kilometer, where work continues apace on the next drainage system within the site. Remember, we have 3, and also where the terminal building is progressing quite smoothly. So stay with us, don't you move. Now, one of the reasons why we come out here on the field is that you can see firsthand exactly what is happening with the development of the Argyle International Airport. As we mentioned earlier, there are 3 drainage systems on this site, one in the 1st, 2nd and 3rd kilometers, the 3rd being the Yambu River drainage system. Now, here in the 2nd kilometer, where the 2nd drainage system is being constructed, when we showed you last, we were at the point where the steel rods were being placed down, and today we can show you some real serious progress. We have a lot of concrete in place, and as you can see, there are a number of guys behind me putting on the other steel structures, so we can start seeing maybe in the near future the casting of those box culverts that they're building here. Similarly to what they did in the 1st kilometer, where these culverts would take the water that's coming down off of the hillsides around here and channel them down in one direction. They will eventually end up in the Argyle Sea. So from here, we are going to move over to the terminal building, which is not too far, just ahead of us on my right, and we will show you the progress being made there as well. Stay with us, we're taking you across. One of the good things happening here at the Argyle International Airport site is the employment creation. We are seeing a lot of people being employed here. Now we have the IADC, which has just about 157 or thereabout persons employed on the site, and then the OECC, they have their own numbers. I'm not quite sure exactly how many there are, but there are quite a few of persons working on the terminal building under the contractors, the OECC. The last time I spoke with you, I told you that we would be seeing more persons on the site. While they continue to work on the terminal building, we have work continuing in other parts of the site. From where I'm standing, I can look over to Johnson Hill, and you can see those guys busy over there doing their thing as they work to get the rest of that hill down to where they would like it to be. And we're also doing some work in the 3rd kilometer. Some clearing is taking place there, and we're going to take you across over there to show you exactly what is happening there as we seek to move this project along to stay on schedule for completion by the end of 2030. Here we are in the 3rd kilometer of the Argyle Airport project site. Of course, this is just a small part of the 3rd kilometer. We have the Yambu River just a few yards away from us here, and behind us in the backdrop you have the Argyle Apartments and that hill on which it sits, and close to the Argyle Apartments you have the Argyle Roman Catholic Church, that old building that is still sitting there. When we resume the work, of course, in January after the Christmas break, we are going to see the Pitini Resorts building, the Argyle Apartments, the Roman Catholic Church, all of those structures being pushed down to make way for us to push off that rock that you're seeing there as we prepare for the reclamation of land for the shoulder part of the runway that would land over in that area. Of course, at the moment, the Aga Apartments and Pitani Resorts building, they are serving as accommodation quarters for the Cubans and other guests who we get from time to time. They will be relocated come January, and the now rehabilitated Bullock's supermarket with an additional upstairs will be their new quarters. And so we're hoping and we're expecting that in 2012, as soon as they resume, the work in the 3rd kilometer will be pushed further and further along towards completion. Next year as well, we are also expecting that the Yambu River will be spanned during 2012, and whatever additional work we have remaining to do will all be wrapped up in 2013. Also in 2012, we are expected to have our asphalt plant in, the concrete plant, as well as the stone crusher, everything in, so we can start the pavement of the runway in 2012. So 2012 is really going to be a watershed year for us. We have a lot of work to do. We're at a very critical stage of the construction of the Argyle International Airport, and by all things being equal, by the grace of the good Lord, we will have the work completed by 2013. So stay tuned, keep following the updates as we keep you updated and tuned in and on target with what is going on here at the Argyle International Airport. We'll see you next time.